authority to get to athletes. She just wasn't very smart. And not stupid, she just wasn't smart about racing. So once you stick to your plan, again, the question is, what's my plan? You know, the plan is something that you're dealing with every day you train. Every day you're focusing on how you're going to race. You're visualizing the whole course. Then there's nothing wrong with, oh, I'm running down Frodo and I'm going to win this race as you train. You know, it just the visualize what you're doing in the race. You know, and feel, I don't know how to define it. You know, just feel that race feeling. You know, every day I train, there's something going through my head that is going to be race related. You know, whether it is, oh, I got one more mile repeat to do, and if I fail this, I'm never going to finish. Or if I do it at this time, I'm going to win the race. You know, and it's the visualization, the mental prep. You know, even when you're going out on that long run and it's hot that day and you're falling apart, you're going to go, damn, it's not going to get any worse than this. So kind of embrace it, you know, because now you know what it feels like. You know, there's days that I want to see someone fail on a training day, and I'm going to go, yeah, don't let that happen again. Now you know where that point is. You know, you've experienced that bonk, the dehydration, the heat, the overpacing, you know. There's something to be learned failing and training, okay? We don't want that to happen race day. So, you know, again, you're racing, you're going to go, I felt this before. Yeah, it's a good shit. I know that something bad's going to happen. Again, next objective, of course, is to finish, right? We all want to finish. But it has to be a little more defined. How am I going to finish? All right? What is it going to get? How is it going to get me there? Because as you race, you drop a bottle. You miss an aid station. Your special needs is not available. So if that's your only plan is I need this and it doesn't happen, you better think of something else. You know, what else? Okay, well I know after special needs I got 5 miles to the next aid station. I cannot make it. You know, stuff like that. So again, this is the rehearsal that's going through your head as you train. You know, I need nutrition. Usually, rule of thumb, 300, 350 calories per hour. Usually, you want at least a bottle an hour. You know, that's me. Hot days, you may need more. You know, your nutrition, how do you pack it in your bag? Are you going to be utilizing one time on the course? You know, where are the aid stations, stuff like that. So you're going to be rehearsing, even looking at the maps. Know your territory.
Can I say something on pacing? Eddie is probably one of the best paced athletes I've found. It's really amazing to go out and train with him. But one of the aspects that we teach and reinforce is that I think there's a misconception among athletes, whether it's bike racers, triathletes, runners, whatever, that if I want to get better, I just have to work harder during the race. So if I'm averaging, zone 3, then I just need to, push it to zone 4 or whatever. And we talk about it all the time that you look at world-class athletes, you look at Eddie, you look at the top pros, you look at people that do an Ironman 8.5 hours, averaging 26 miles on the bike, doing a 3-hour under marathon, coming out of the water in 46 minutes. What's their average heart rate zone for that effort? People are like, oh, it's got to be high because they're going so fast. Heart rate zone 2. Heart rate zone 2 is their average. They're going that, yeah.
Yeah, Starkowitz is 150 and below.
Yeah.
And he's,
Yeah.
I think it was last.
Yes.
Right,
he's putting out
max heart rate is like 160. So
right, he's putting out what kind of watts.
Yeah.
Those guys. So the typical plan for a pro race in Ironman is a little different.
Right.
Right. Absolutely will.
You get a set amount of time in zone 3. It's different for everybody. But for those guys, they have it dialed down. They do this nutrition thing so precisely that they get into zone 3 pretty early on the bike, and ride most of the race at an average. The average intensity factor for a bike that's like the gold standard is 8%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And that's
the
different
fact,
from.
right, and they made a great point. As a amateur athlete,
Right.
I would
Right.
not want you in zone 3.
Right. The shorter the finish time, certainly the higher the heart rate you can maintain. But I think the key understanding in all of this is, you get on the bike and suddenly you're excited and everybody's going
Right.
fast,
Exactly.
and you're hanging out zone 4. Like, that is not sustainable, and you're burning matches that are going to cost you later in the race.
It will catch you.
Yeah.
Your nutrition thing needs to be, it's not as spot on as the people who've been doing it a while, but know this, if you're behind, you'll never catch up. Once you get behind, you're behind. And it's not a good thing. So we want to stay ahead of the fluid intake and taking in calories. You don't want to, it's a long day. Okay. So as we move forward, so again, I always say, have a good run, forget about life. Have a good run. What's the saying? What's the saying?
Bike for show, run for dough.
Oh man, well, our buddy Tom, which I've been on the phone all day, he's still in Louisville. Tom bikes for show, man. I mean, he will crank out one of the meanest bikes you'll ever see, and will walk. Brian Krabby at Ironman Chattanooga rode 440 something. Amazing bikes. Yeah, I think he's walking a mile too. But I mean, this guy is, but that was his plan. And I'll give it to Brian. Brian's plan was to go sub 9. That was his plan. That was his objective. And he put it all on the line. He just ripped it. He paid for it, but he was okay with that. That was his objective. So it's a long walk. Yeah, so you guys can do that. Okay, so the bike. I always say remain comfortable. At any time you're tired, I'm going fast. Okay, the bike course in Louisville is a very fair course. Rolling hills. I'm glad they got rid of that little out and back, and we'll go into it once we put it on there. But that little out and back was scary, crazy. It wasn't good. So I always like to make a rule of thumb. Any hill that you come on, you don't push. No big gear. You stay seated and you spin up that bad boy. Let it go. It'll pay dividends in the long run. 80 to 90 percent of people out there are knuckleheads. So when they pass you, let them go. Who cares? You say, yeah, I'm gonna get you on a run.
I'm gonna see you again.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna see you again.
I'm like, you just passed me. I'm like, I remember that kid. Well, you had a good bike, didn't you? See ya. Mile 3. 2 hours later, I'm already washed the shower.
5 miles in to pass you at mile 5 with the bike.
Yeah, I've seen it. These guys are just ripping. And again, we'll go into the rules and stuff like that. Keep the bike clean. And be courteous throughout the race. Volunteers are out there. Be courteous to them. They're volunteers. They're not getting paid. And you're going to lose your temper. It's going to happen. But just go. And so just remember to be courteous to the athletes. You're going to run across a whole bunch of that will not be courteous, especially in swim. But keep your cool. Don't lose your cool. Just keep it and say, I'm here to have fun and do my best. Again, I always say, smile as you pass fast bikers. Got you, buddy. Again, you can only control what you can control. Everything else that happens that's out of your hand, there's nothing you can do about it. All right? You can control pacing. You can control your nutrition. You can control your attitude. You can't control wind. You can't control hills. You can't control traffic. You're supposed to, but sometimes they fail at that. You can't control the attitudes of other athletes. Don't let it get to you. Let it go. Who cares? Stay in your own zone. Every time I race, everyone's like, "Oh man, you're like a cold stone." No, I only ask for 9.5 hours of my own time. You know, other than that, I share everything else. I'll share any time that I got. But during my race, it's my race. And I'll have to acknowledge that because I get yelled at when I don't. And I'll acknowledge, but stay in your zone. Just stay there, relax. You don't have a cell phone, which is awesome.
Right.
You don't have anyone telling you what to do.
Right.
Well, only when you pass it,
Right.
they'll tell you to run faster. I agree, run faster. Like,
Right.
oh
But do be aware, because we had the accident in Boulder.
yes.
Because I think, and this is one thing as an Ironman athlete, whether you're running or riding, again, please help yourself to food as you guys need to. The situation simply was, volunteers and people directing traffic, and that particular cyclist thinking that she was completely safe and she wasn't being defensive, she didn't have her head up, she wasn't paying attention, there was traffic there, and it was an unfortunate accident where this athlete was killed, literally, a mile down the road where I was hanging out watching this up. And it's unfortunate, but you sit there and say, like, you can put the blame on the race course, they shouldn't have had it on that road, or they should have had a cone someplace else. But ultimately, right, as racers, we are responsible for ourselves. And so don't fall into that false sense of security as, oh, it's a closed course, it's a closed road, I don't have to worry about traffic, I don't have to worry about these things. And you start putting your head down a little too often, and next thing you know, somebody pulls out of a driveway right in front of you, right? Yeah.
I lost a really good friend in Ironman, California. It was in 2000. Again, we don't know exactly how it happened, but he was out of control going down the hill and hitting a guardrail. And that was the end of that race. He was a good guy. I had just passed him on a bike, and I remember on a run. Where is he? Usually he's trying to run me down. I didn't see him, and then we found out that he had crashed into a guardrail and was killed. So it happens. Don't let it happen. Control the situation. Again, that little out and back, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
It really was. And I ride a bike really well, and I was always nervous on that. And I'm so grateful for Ironman Louisville to get rid of that section. It's not so much my skills, but it's the other person, And it wasn't just in my lane, because people come across the other side. Very scary. So, again, don't go berserk down hills. Don't, go all crazy and turn stuff. Keep it under control. Okay, as you go through, continually self-assess yourself. Where am I? How am I feeling? Look at other people. I don't like that bad, right? Maybe I do. But yeah, you're just constantly ask yourself how you're doing. I talk to myself all the time. It's just self-awareness. When's the last time I drank? When's the last time I ate? And of course, you need to prepare yourself for this. So just assess yourself an entire day. So again, rehearse. As you train, especially as we start tapering, rehearse. When you're coming in off the bike on an even easier ride, so you're slowing down your shoes, leave them in your cleats. Is that your plan? How do you dismount? You can do that training. Little things like that that become a habit. Again, rehearsing on how much fluid and all that. There's nothing wrong with you guys taking note that, I drank this amount of water during this ride. My intensity wasn't high, but I lost this much weight or I gained it. I don't know. Just rehearsing and taking notes and status. Don't just train. Take status. You're constantly assessing yourself. That's how you're going to become a better racer. My wrestling coach always said, you're going to wrestle the way you practice. The same with racing. If you just go through the flow of training, you're just kind of going to go through the flow and you're going to miss things. So just be aware. Okay? I know that the Ironman is a mental game. Totally mental. We always have little sayings, what are you going to do with that big fat cat? So the big fat cat is the one that you don't want to show. His name is little mouth shut up. So you're gonna have to defeat that big cat, right? Can't let it in you. Always refers to the devil as well. I'm not gonna let the devil in. It's all these negative thoughts that's gonna go through your head as you race. You gotta get on the bike. If it takes you just as you ride and you're thinking, oh gosh, this hurts or whatever, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people might think you're crazy. It's like, no! You know, whatever it is that you have to release that negative thought, let it go. Don't let it carry on you because it's going to get heavier and heavier as you race. You know, the conditions, the swim, the wind, the hill, the heat, everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it. So why are you complaining? Everyone's doing it. Let it go. Oh, volunteers suck. Well, then it probably suck for everybody. You know, I didn't get my special needs. I've done 30 plus. I may have gotten it twice. You know, but then again, I don't know either. You know, but that's part of my plan. If I don't get it, I know what to do. But don't complain. If you dwell on it, it's going to get heavier and heavier. Just let it go. Just let it go and enjoy the day. You guys are having fun yet? Again, kind of, what is anyone would like to share an objective? You know, is it to finish? Is it to whatever? You know, I always say, and I'm not calling it out or anything, but I always say to finish is you're selling yourself short. You really are. Now, if you say, and now everyone's different. You know, we all train different. We all have different abilities. But with the right strategy, guaranteed, 99% of everything out there will finish. Will finish. It'll be a long day, but you're going to make it. So when you're setting an objective, you know, how do you do that? You know, it's easy to say, oh, I want to average 18 miles per hour. It may be a little bit better to fine-tune that objective a little bit better. Let's say every 10 miles I want to be at this time, rather than an 18 mile per hour average. Because you may catch yourself looking at that speed every mile, and you may end up going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, or you may panic. So kind of broaden, you know, if it's a mile per hour thing, make it a longer split. You know, and then don't go, oh, I was fast, I'm banking that. And it doesn't work sometimes. Make sure it's consistent. And it's really hard, let's face it. If you got a big tailwind, it's going to be a headwind soon. So don't, again, I always say this, when we race, don't hammer the tailwinds. We're going to hammer the headwinds. If we're going to go hard, that's when we go. Okay? Because if
Everyone's
it's easy,
fast.
if it's easy, everyone will do it, right? But boy, they'll come back quick in the tailwind or the headwind. So again, when we go to the course, we're going to look at the course, and then it's going to be up to you guys to know wind directions and stuff like that. And it works. So
Time-wise, you want to go jump on?
yeah,
stuff?
let's go ahead and get in there. Is there any questions at this time, though?
What do you mean by hammer the headwinds?
Sorry.
What do you mean by hammer the headwinds on that?
Okay.
Just like
He was saying like hammer the headwinds. So the idea is, like if you have a time trial course, for example, and it's out and back, or you have a loop, you're going to make more time because you have more time per ratio in a headwind section than you do in a tailwind section. So there's more time to be gained.
Right. If you're gonna, I don't want push and hammer, probably the wrong. But if there's going to be a time that you're going to work and need to work, it will be in the headwind. So if you've worked with a tailwind, you're going to really work in the headwind, but you're not going to be moving. I would rather, if you're going to really focus on what you're going to do, it needs to be on that period. Again, it's that mental thing that when you hit that headwind as well, that I don't want you going, God, I'm already freaking tired. And I'm hitting the tail, oh, this wind sucks, it's hot. You know, people are drafting, don't get blocked. It'll just keep going and going and going. You know, so we just want the mind clear. You know, when we hit
Anyway.
how about we say we don't gain, but we're not gonna lose as much,
Yeah.
okay? Because it's really hard to gain time back in the head.
The same scenario why running is so much more important. Percentage-wise, if you're a mile an hour faster at that slower speed, at 20 miles an hour, if the guy behind you is riding 19 miles an hour, it's 5%. On the run, at 10 miles an hour, it's now 10% of your mile an hour faster or slower. So at 30 miles an hour, it's 3.5 or 3.3. That gain diminishes too. So
By the way, guys, this is Cody. He's,
Yeah.
he's a short course. You still got your pro card, correct? Yeah, he's one of those stupid fast ones.
Yeah. Very fast.
But I
This is a laser pointer, though.
just a different way to look at it. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Okay, so we're going to go to race day, okay? So before we start really looking at the courses, your race day, your packet pickup, make sure you bring your ID and your USAT. If you're an all-world athlete, you get from the line. It was pretty funny because Maryland, last year, the line was hour, maybe hour and a half long. I was at the back and all-world athlete. All-world athlete. I was like, gone, and there no one else has moved. I felt bad, but not that. Again, you know, get there. I believe that there's no Saturday packet pickup, so you got to get it on Friday.
There is this year.
So it is on a Saturday.
It's been a big issue that's gone on the Facebook website.
Okay.
And that Ironman actually sent, one guy posted the email. There was a few races that Ironman decided to try out at the end of the season, Louisville being one of them.
Yeah. Good.
That they're actually letting people come in on Saturday and check in.
Awesome.
Athlete check-in, so 1 o'clock? Is that how
10
that-
to 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, if you get there Friday, get there early.
I'm not waiting.
Yeah.
What's the first day? You pick it up Thursday?
No, I don't remember Thursday.
Saturday. Yeah,
It usually is, but I'm sure it is. But
you can get there Thursday.
yeah, because I know people who went there Thursday, Friday, drove back to Cincinnati, and then came back, and you know, whatever. But it is fun to do your packet pickup, go through all, make sure you have everything in there, you know, your cap and all that you need, get your wristband. Make sure you got that, and then chill, you know, get your stuff together, go ahead, you got a list, run through your list, make sure it's all on there, and get your stuff together, so you don't have to worry about it later. Saturday is going to be a practice swim. Highly recommend it. Hey, it's just cool, you know. It's just fun to do. So you go down there, and then at that time you'll get a chance to look at the swim course. From there, what you're going to be looking for is what we'll show you here in a minute. But you'll also get a feel of the current. At that time, remember, I don't think they shut the dam. I know they did the first year they did. It was hilarious. But I don't think they'll shut the dam down for the practice swim. So you may have a little more current that day than you will race day. You know, the lady said that she felt a current. I didn't feel a current. I didn't even that much of a current. But the first year I did it, it was crazy. Yeah, it was a lot of rain. They were worried about. Actually, that's when they went to the time trial that year because the water was running so fast, and people were actually jumping in the water and going backwards. And they were in jet skis after people. I was like, oh, this is cool. So I jumped in and I swam to the buoy, and it was like from here to the wall. 15, 20 minutes later, I made it. I turned around, it was like 3 strokes, I was out. It's like, I was like this. But it, you know, the high river runs really quick. So, and we're not going to have rains like that. So yeah. So you got all your stuff together. Again, your bike's going to be prepared. Get you'll be dropping off your bike and run in the bag. Again, go through it 10 times. Make sure you got it. As you go down, whatever time you choose to take it down there, to the transition area, mark in your head, look for some sort of locator, whether it's a sign, the porta toilets, something that's going to give you an idea on the location of your bag and your bike. Okay? Once you rack it, go back to, and the volunteers are cool, go back to the tent, to the swim exit, and visualize where your bag's at. You know, take the time. Take your time and do it. You know, is it, how many times are you going to go? 1, 2, 3, okay, third row, fifth. No, it's not going to work because you're going to be running, you're going to go third, fourth, check. You know? So what I always look for is something that I can, okay, there's a lamp pole, a tree, you know, trash can, hopefully no one moves it, right? Something like that. Something that's going to give you some sort of direction on where you need to go. As you run, yell your name, your number. The volunteers are going to help you. So for the most part, especially in Louisville, when you exit the water, there's a bunch of people. So the better prepared you are and know where your stuff is, the easier it's going to be. So we're going to exit the water. We're going to grab our bag. We go into the tent. Find a seat in the back. It's going to be total chaos right there next to the door. Everyone wants that first seat. Take the time to go around. You know, believe it or not, there's going to be a couple volunteers. Okay, like the old one, you know, take that guy. So we got time. So we're going to go ahead and do our transition. We're going to go out to the bike. Again, you've just done this the day before. You're going to exit out the day before, get around the tent, and walk. Okay. Wow. Okay. It's next to that wall. I got it. You know. Again, you're going to get in the general area. You're talking. I think Louisville's 2,500 people up to 3,000. It's going to be hard. It really is. Don't panic. You'll find your bike. You know. But if you get in the general area, you know, I always say look for the black bike. All right, find the one with the disc wheel. So kind of get in your area, and I really do pay attention to that one special bike. Hopefully, I'm eating on water, right? It's like, oh, that's an expensive bike, and I not put my bike in there. So we're going to exit from there again. Well, let's just go ahead and go into the swim. So the swim, as you guys can see, this diagram that's out is not the way it's been in the past. Let me see.
Yeah, click on the back.
Is it on the back?
Yeah,
All right.
there you go.
The way it, okay, first off, this Towhead Island, it's not that wide. You know, it is going to be congested. So you're going to have boats all through here. You're going to have a lot of tree limbs, and it's really shallow through there too. Plus, they'll run another set of buoys through there. As you guys swim through here, that's going to be a little bit of the head current, right? Because the river's flowing this way. And it's pretty noticeable. It's not that deep, and it churns a lot. So you're going to taste it. It's going to be bad. Again, when you jump into the water, beware that backstrokers, breaststrokers, I don't know what some other people are doing. That is the most dangerous part of the swim. Please be careful there, okay? Just take your time. Don't use a lot of nervous energy. You'll find some clean water eventually, I guarantee you. Because some people will go this way, that way. I actually found right down the middle. I don't know where everyone went. I was like, phew, gone. So, just be careful. Once you get through here, man, I swear the Ohio River seems like it's like 20 miles wide at that time. You know, all you see is water. Right through here is a sandbar or mud bar. You'll see people walking. Don't walk. You're supposed to swim. Whatever. But just be aware. You come down here, it's really important to mark. You may want to look for something over here to side off of. I believe there's a shipyard or a docking or something right across the bay that you should be able to see. Again, depending on the day. But this right here, from this edge to there, I swear is a long swim. Just be conscious just seems like it takes forever. I don't know why. But eventually you're going to make it across there. Again, going around any buoy, it's going to be congestion. You're going to get hit. You're going to see people swimming this way, that way, whatever. So just be prepared for that. Okay, so now we're going to circle this red buoy. Like I said, I think buoys went more like that. There you go. I've never seen buoys that far out. But it is a great course of what they mark out. Because as you can see, you'll have just there and there. One an awesome wave side. I mean, you can peg it for miles, but remember, you want to be on the left side. So, again, it's easy. You're going to see the bridge. And as long as you're swimming towards the bridge, you don't have to come all the way out. And really don't sweat if the buoys go that far, because it's straight, right? So we can hit on the left side of that, and then come right in. But what happens, what has happened to me, is you end up drifting. You know, it might be a little current that'll push you in there, and you'll see like a half something larger right there. Then you're kind of stuck doing the course. So if you go straight, Missy swears by it, and she put out some good times. She swam out in the middle of the river. Could get a little lonely out there too, by the way. So a lot of people are going to like the security of the buoys. Just fire beware. It could get lonely out there, but at least you're not getting the crap beat out of you either. So once you get through here and past this, again, when we do our practice swim, you're going to see all this. And I think there's like a channel marker right through here too. So you're going to be able to see that, you know, those stands there, possibly there. But then again, you may not want to swim that far either. So good swim. Easy navigation, whether you want to follow the buoys or use the bridges. You know, you got two to shoot from, right? So if you see these, you went too far. You see the third, you went way too far. So doable swim. And I would almost guess it's probably going to be non-wetsuit as well this year.
I say work on your sight, and then if you're going to sight off the trusses of the bridge, work on that in the practice swims.
Yeah, and you know what? You're actually able to go across this now, the walking bridge. You know, take your time up there and go up there and check it out. You know, if anything's really cool pictures. But you'll be able to see Towhead Island. You'll see the barges or whatever we got over here. It's pretty. I'm thinking that sunrise is behind the buildings. Well, anyways, you may have a little bit of trouble finding that buoy and the exit. But then